Wow. And people got afraid when I got my driver's license. Now I'm a doctor. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, President Collins. I'm so moved. And that Barbie doll is very cool. Okay. I actually think combat boots under the gown is good. You remember that saying, your mother wears combat boots. Now it's so common. Anyway, thank you, President Collins. Thank you, Lauren Philly, for all the help to get me here. And thank you for my little Vermont stone. Thank you. It's obviously a big honor, and it's wild to be back here. And now I'm a doctor. So if you don't feel good, I just want to say, honestly, all kidding aside, thank you. And congratulations to the class of 2019, okay? Because I know getting your degree is quite an accomplishment. And now your journey starts, as President Collins said, the ups, the downs, and back up. So remember, sometimes a good thing to remember is that your bad luck, when you're having it, also turns out to be your good luck. And I'll explain. But first, I would like to thank the state of Vermont and the policies of the state at the time I attended school here. And I especially want to thank the extraordinary people who helped me. I wish I could remember their names, but I do remember their faces. It was 1971. I was on welfare in Burlington, and I had been traveling around that fall, bumming around with my friend and my dog, Sparkle. Yeah, she came here too. But when I saw Lake Champlain and the leaves turning so many bright colors, I had to stay. I went to a youth hostel in Burlington that was also a runaway home. And the people there helped me get a job as a mother's helper. Turned out I wasn't allowed to help. So that didn't work out for me. I wound up on welfare, and I was sitting waiting for my name to be called when I realized I just wanted a job. So when I was called, I asked if they could give me a job because I didn't want to be on welfare. So the woman at the counter sent me to a room down a hallway, and there I met a man, I guess in his 30s. I was just 20, I think, or 19. And he had a white shirt with rolled up sleeves, I remember. And at the time, I thought he looked like he was ready to delve into problem solving. And at that first meeting, he laid out a plan that not just got me a job, but a future. He asked me, he said, "What do you love to do?" And I said, "Paint," because I thought I was going to be a painter, an artist. And he asked what I'd like to do for a job, and I said I loved animals. I worked at a racetrack. I did. That didn't work out either. So he said, what about cats and dogs? And I said, great. So he got me a job in a kennel, but also asked about education. So I told him my story about at 17, never finished high school. So he planned a way for me to get my GED. He said if I lived here and became a resident for 2 years, then I could apply for a special program called the PROVE program. and go to college and study art. And I kept in touch with the man with the rolled-up sleeves and tried to stay on the right path. And when I was on that path, this state, the beauty of this state, enveloped me to the point that I wished I could share the incredible sights, and you know them because you see them all the time, with my friends back home. So one day, with a hat I got from a free store, literally a free store, not kidding, and this is it, I saved it. I wrote the speech because I'm nervous, okay. And with this hat one night, on one of those great nights where the stars are totally incredible, I never wanted to forget it. So I held the hat up and I closed my eyes, and in my mind's eye, I filled it with the sky, with the stars. And I did that so that one day later, I could put it on again and remember the night, and maybe have a friend put it on and have them close their eyes and see if it works. But, that doesn't, I don't know. But I still treasure it today, and it became the artwork and the theme for a CD that I'm most proud of, Hat Full of Stars, which this hat is. Well, thank you. I wish my record company felt the same way at the time. Anyway, they didn't understand mixing hip-hop and pop and folk and blues. But anyway, it later became a thing, so we're all good. And so I progressed on the path of learning, and I had some bad luck because on my way to a concert with a friend, I was in a car accident. I wasn't driving and was injured. So when I went to get the GED test, I had to go in crutches. And just so happened that the two older women who were administering the test were very impressed by the fact that I came to take the test in crutches. But I had to pass the test to apply for the proof program, had to stick to the plan. And I always had a slight reading disorder. I couldn't see. That's why this is so many pages, because I had to make it like for hard of hearing, so I wouldn't lose my place. Anyway, I was a slow test taker, but by the time when the time was up and I wasn't done, the two little ladies must have felt sorry for me and my crutches there, and they gave me more time. That enabled me to finish the test, and I passed. So my bad luck became my good luck, right? So, right, never forget that, as you may hit some rough patches, that where you are where it's rough, it's going to help you when it's good, or it's going to help you to get to where it's good, see? And anyway, when I first came here to Johnson State, I saw people in the painting classes, because they said, go see Johnson, so I went. It was called Johnson State, sorry, it's now different. It's the Northern Vermont State. Oh, Northern Vermont University-Johnson. So, right? Anyway, I don't know. I saw people painting out of the classroom. They were just in the classroom painting what was outside the window, and I figured, okay, I could come here. So I was hoping that when I came here, I really felt I could learn how to become an artist, a great one, because of the beauty and because of the freedom, and it was a relaxed thing here, So I started painting in a non-traditional way. I used to paint on the soles of shoes. Yeah, but it was painting. And I wanted a model in photographs that I could later paint. I loved framing the pictures, not framing the canvas, but, you know, the composition and the angles. And I couldn't start working on the angle without a photograph. I mean, I really wanted to start like that. But the funny thing is that from that first shoe piece, it was the precursor to the shoe piece I made on the back of the She's So Unusual album cover. And the study of the great Impressionist painters and the compositions that they did, that helped me to turn those compositions and what I had in my head into the album covers that I made. I art directed quite a few of them, like most of them. And that was from the foundation of what I learned here. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you is this is the beginning of your journey. You'll never stop learning, because that's life, you know? And learning and using pieces of your life to compose whatever picture or whatever you choose on your path, whether it be art, commerce, anything. You'll need to balance everything that happened and that's going to happen, because everything that's happened is going to get you to where you're going, and you can't ever forget that. Anyway, I'm sorry, I forgot. I have to acknowledge the radio station here. Could you imagine with this accent? I had a show. A lot of people used to call me up afterwards and said, yeah, I had a great trip, and it was good. Never mind. Okay. I actually got that show because I went in to complain, because they weren't playing enough women. They were hardly playing any women on the radio. And I said, you know, I think that this is really not right. You're not playing any women. There's plenty of women artists, right? Right? So now the teacher was very clever. He looked at me and he said, okay, so why don't you have a show and you could play all the women that you want? And I was so, riled up. I said, okay, I will. And then there I was doing, these radio shows, and I said, I don't know how to work these things, and they taught me. I learned without even realizing that that's what I was going to learn. So you got to be ready to learn, even when you think you're not supposed to learn that particular thing. Anyway, everything I learned there, putting the set list together for the show, getting all the records, and seeing the music that came in every month or every week from all the radio, it was incredible. All the records, well, in those days there were records. They actually had big covers. You could see them. It was awesome. It was art. It was art. Anyway, learning how to make a set list, who knew? I didn't think I was going to be a singer, but here I am. And the thing is, in my short stay here, I didn't even realize how much I learned. I was so afraid of failing, because I was failing, and I didn't do well in English. I always refer to it as my second language. But there was an English teacher here who saw that I had a reading problem, and she taught me how to speed read, and she saw that the words got switched. So she taught me to read with a blank piece of paper underneath each line, and how to do it fast. I've used that for my whole life. So thank you. I don't remember her name, but she taught here. Anyway, I just want you to know that sometimes when you hit the rough patches, I keep saying this because sometimes I meet people and I say, well, yeah, you were doing music, what happened? They said, well, life gave me a bad turn. I just want to say, life is going to give you a bad turn. It's a test. It's just a test. And look at all the tests you passed just to get here. Right? That's how you have to think of it. Because you know where you're going. And nothing is going to stop you. That's how you have to think. And I know you can because you got a college diploma. And that's hard. Trust me, I know. I'm a doctor. Anyway, see, I wrote a song in Kinky Boots. It was called Take What You Got. There's a couple of lines. The chorus is, you gotta take what you got, even when your life is in knots. You take aim, take your shot. Sometimes you gotta rewrite the plot. You gotta take what you got. You understand what I'm saying here? So today, I don't want to take up too much time. Oh, wait. Okay, too late. Today, before you toss your cap in the air, make it your own hat full of stars. So one day you can remember the beauty and promise that you feel today. Okay? And congratulations to the 2019 Northern Vermont University-Johnson. Thank you. Congratulations!
Thank you so much, Cyndi, for sharing your wise words with us today.